my whole world was crashing. I was born and raised, I didn't know anything about this. The church was wonderful, it was true. The church was guided by Jesus himself. And now when I'm reading this, and I started to understand that I need the strength to accept the truth.
Hans Mattsson grew up in the Mormon Church in Sweden and became a high-ranking leader who helped oversee the church throughout Europe. Now he is publicly sharing his doubts about the history and teachings of the church.
So how did you go from being in a position of helping teach people about the faith to having doubts about the faith?
When members are using the internet, as I usually call a crystal ball, you can't hide anything, everything is there. They find out a lot of questions about especially about the church history. And of course, being a kind of a high leader in the church, I also have those questions to me, and I have to try to deal with them. And when I did that, we found out that the church, as I look at it, didn't give me any answers, really.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, as the Mormon Church is formally known, has always taught that the Book of Mormon, its core scripture, is historically true. But in the era of the Internet, church members have access to information that appears contradictory. For example, there is no DNA evidence to support the Book of Mormon's claims that American Indians descended from Jews, or that steel swords existed when the book says they were used.
Is the Book of Mormon historical or not? The blacks and the priesthood, why did the blacks didn't have the priesthood? Was it a prophet, really?
To its credit, the church has made volumes of documents about its founder and prophet, Joseph Smith, available to historians. But those documents reveal things that the church doesn't teach most of its members, such as the fact that Joseph Smith took many wives, some very young.
But when you study this history, you find that there are girls working in Joseph Smith's home. As you call them, maidens. They clean and wash and things. And those are the girls he married. And Emma, his first wife, wouldn't know about it. And for me, that's terrible. You just been 14, 15 years, and you put so much pressure on them, and you can read the letters, what he wrote to them.
The church says it is trying to be transparent and that believers in every church have doubts. But when Mr. Mattsson brought his questions to his superiors, he says they told him to stay silent.
What I felt kind of sad about, and I felt I didn't really like, was that they said that you're not supposed to talk to your wife, your children. You don't to talk about these issues in church.
Hans Mattsson says he is not alone in suffering a crisis of faith, and that there are consequences. Mormons who admit their doubts can be prohibited from attending weddings and baptisms, and friends and family members sometimes cut off contact.
Really, why I'm sitting here and why I'm here in the United States is because I can see that there are so many friends of mine, members in the church, that are being hurt. They're going through a terrible faith crisis, as I did. I mean, I've been in this for 8 years, and today I feel quite normal about this. But why shall they be so hurt by that, just because the church is not telling the whole story or the true story? My hope is that the church will grow more larger in acceptance that you are allowed to have doubts, because I think a doubter is a seeker. I mean, you can go to Joseph Smith. Why did he pray? He was asking what to do. So he was a doubter, wasn't he? And I think that's great. You find answers.